All right, Zealand. Welcome back to class. Here is your biggest test yet.
What'd you say?
Do you remember those lists you made when you were just starting YouTube at the beginning of FM20 and you talked about these hidden gem wonder kids?
Oh, yeah, dude, I remember those. I barely knew what I was doing at the time, let alone was I, picking actual names,
Well, now, for the next lesson, you will be going back and grading how well you picked out the 20 best hidden wonder kids.
Mother.
Doesn't that sound swell? So today is a video I've been planning, I've been loathing, I've been ing for a long time, because I am going to go back and watch one of the first videos I ever made, which was the 20 best FM20 hidden gem wonder kids. We are going to go through those 20 players, hopefully very quick, not hopefully, I'm in control of my own. We are going to do this in under 20 minutes, so help me FM gods. We are going to go through these 20 players and I am going to grade on a scale from A to F, right? The normal scholastic grading scale, so that we can be ready for hopefully me being right in Football Manager 21, because I'm going to make another video like this in the next few weeks as Football Manager 21 comes out. So let's grade me. First of all, just look at this. Look at this setup with this thing. We've come so far, chat. This is the stream. If you want to hang out on a stream, I stream on Twitch. The link is down in the description. 4 days a week. I'm actually streaming later today to again waste time during election day. The video is only 42 minutes long. I edited this, so it's glorious. Fortunately, somebody in the comments actually came down and made a list, and it's off this list that we are going to be looking up the players on my Bate save, which is the farthest into the future I've gone on a large database. It's in November of 2030, so we'll be able to see how these players panned out. We will also look at how they're doing in real life, because some of them have become very relevant in real life when they weren't at the beginning of this year, and I will be taking full credit for that. So the first guy is a left back named Luke Daly, a 17-year-old on Huddersfield Town, and it was ranked, so we're going from 20 to 1. He was the 20th player, had very low current ability, very high potential ability, and obviously he has not necessarily reached it. He's not a bad player. He's on loan from Leeds, so I'm assuming Leeds are in the championship. He's on loan to Queen's Park Rangers, who are also in the championship, and he's had a rather roaming career, so I definitely didn't hit it out of the park with this one. I did say in the video that this guy was not somebody that was a guaranteed development. He just had a lot of potential ability in the game, and maybe you would be able to access it. Charlton signed him for free. A $2 million transfer to Leeds, but he's only made 22 appearances for them and then gone on loan to Blackburn and Queen's Park Rangers. Now, what has Luke Daly done in real life? Well, he's 30, so this is the wrong Luke Daly. You cannot be serious that there are two Luke Dalys on Huddersfield. He has made 2 appearances in the FA Youth Cup. Long way to go for Luke Daly. I'm sorry, Luke, but this one gets a D for Luke Daly. Next player, goalkeeper Martin Vandevort was number 19. I feel like I've seen him be better than this. He's got 3 Belgium appearances at 28. He's still playing for Genk. He actually is left Genk, and it looks like he might have been replaced as the goalkeeper. This is ridiculous, though. If you've played Football Manager 2020, you know Martin Vandevort. He's like a reliable, good goalkeeping option to pick up. This is a very bad version of Martin Vandevort. I'm just trying to defend myself. Let's see what he's done in real life. He's got incredible flow. He looks like somebody from Crusader Kings, like one of those. You've had a son, and he looks like that. He has 2 appearances in the Jupiler Pro League at 18, so it's not like I completely missed here. I just missed a little bit. I'm gonna give myself a C+ for Vandevort, because I do know that he can be better than this. The next name on the list is a flamboyant Turk named Elmer Baez. Elmer Baez was 18th on my Hidden Wonder Kid list, and he is playing in Turkey at the age of 27 on a free transfer to Denizlispor after failing to really crack the first team at Fenerbahce. I am not off to a hot start, but in the later part of the rankings, I promise there are some huge names that you recognize. This dude's actually really not that bad. He's got excellent vision. His lack of athleticism is probably what really is screwing him here, because he can receive the ball, he can pass the ball, he's got good movement, creativity, creativity, composure. He's a star player for Denizlispor. He's making plenty of money. He's got a couple appearances for the Turkish national team. What is Elmer Baez up to in real life, huh? He's got no first team appearances yet. He has cracked the Turkish under-21 national team. This one's a C-. Even the fact that I think he's a decent player, he turns into a decent player in Football Manager. In real life, he still hasn't really done anything. I think we did kind of miss on this one. C-. Next on the list is Oscar Bob, 15-year-old youth player from what I remember at Manchester City. Now, he's got 3 Norwegian appearances at the age of 27. He's flamed out. He's on loan from West Brom to Sporting Gijon. So he's still a top league player. Well, no, West Brom bought him in the championship. He's not a top league player. You know, they say Drake never misses. Zealand's missed so far, but this is one of the first videos we ever made. I will make excuses. Now, he's not bad. He's not good. He's certainly worse than Elmer Baez. He's 5'2". Well, this guy really didn't grow at all, but he is at Manchester City in real life. He has made 2 appearances in the Premier League 2. Wait a second, he's already played. Haha! C+. I was right. He played in the EFL trophy, which is something. It's a, oh no, that's where, no, D+. If you're a Premier League team, you send your U23s to play in that tournament. Oscar Bob played in that off the bench, but Oscar Bob is still very short, very young, not really impacting the senior team at Manchester City, not particularly close. Definitely was an unknown quantity, but he's not panned out in the Bate save. Next, my next pick for Hidden Wonder Kid is Pedro Brazal, now 27, playing for Nice as a star player. So he's definitely had a good career. He hasn't moved. This guy's made 312 appearances for Nice. He scored over 50 goals for the club. He is the Nice guy. No appearances for the Portuguese national team. Only 4 under-21 appearances for the Portuguese national team. What's he done in real life? It's worth 440,000. He's loaned to Lausanne Sport, where he is not broken into the first team, but he does have 2 appearances for the Portuguese U19s. I'll give myself a C on this one. We're grading hard because we've got some great options coming forward. This guy's definitely the best player that's been on this list so far, Pedro. But this is a B. This is a B. What am I kidding? He's a hidden wonder kid. Just because he's not a world-beating superstar, this is a B. Okay, he's definitely good. He's got great passing technique and vision. His first touch is solid. His dribbling and agility and pace is wonderful. His acceleration is a little low, but his balance is solid. This guy's got 15 flair. He's a creative dribbler. Composure's a little low. I have a hair in my mouth. How the hell did that get there? This is a B. They loaned him out. He's going to go get playing time in the top Swiss league. That's not bad. You know, that's not bad. Next one. You may have heard of him. Jude Bellingham, who's at Barcelona, has 42 English caps. This is an A. I absolutely nailed this one. $100 million move to Tottenham after a $41 million move to Crystal Palace. Barca swoop in for $60 million to take him from Tottenham. Jude Bellingham was one of my finest pieces of work. Obviously, Jude Bellingham is in and around the Dortmund first team in real life after making a move over there. Jude, thank you for saving me. A, I nailed this one. I find the diamonds in the rough, people, sometimes. Next on our list was Sharamidoku, who's at Real Madrid in this save. I said it when I made the original video, one of the first YouTube videos I ever made. Sharamidoku is a very particular type of player. He does one thing. He gets the ball, he then beats people with it, and then he doesn't really know what to do, but he can receive the ball and just cook people. If you watch Sharamidoku in real life, he's the same way. Because of the way he plays in real life, he's still at Anderlecht with like Yari Versharin. 63 Belgian caps, 16 goals. He's a regular starter at Real Madrid. Atletico bought him for 34, Everton for 54, Real Madrid for 59 million. He's had 2 regular starting seasons with Real Madrid in La Liga. I always liked this guy. I know a lot of people didn't because he only does one thing well, but he does that thing very well, and there's just not a lot of people in the world that can do it. Consecutive A's for your boy. We're picking up. We're picking up heat. And next on the list of these wonder kids, these hidden wonder kids at the beginning of FM20 that I put together is Yari Versharin, who is my first A+ because this dude's sick. He's on Manchester City getting paid 20 million a year, which is by far the most out of any of our boys. Tottenham Hotspur bought him for 32. Man City bought him for 122 million. Yari, I love you. It's an A+. This guy's an A+. I know that Jude in real life has done the best and probably deserved an A+, and Sharamidoku's been good in real life and playing for Anderlecht. But Yari Versharin, he is one of the most reliable wonder kids on Football Manager. What has he done in real life? I actually don't know. Yeah, he's playing in the Jupiler Pro League. He's got 2 goals in 7 matches. His market value is 15 million. A+. Breakout year for Yari Versharin. And now we are on to the next person, whose name is Brienne Gill. Brienne Gill is still with Sevilla, who I believe he started his career with, and he did. He's got 330 appearances and 72 goals for Sevilla. He's a good player, 21 U21 caps for Spain, but he's never broken into the senior national team. I'm going to go ahead and give him a firm B, and I'm interested to see what he's doing in real life because he was one of the older guys on the list. He's made multiple La Liga appearances, so he's valued at nearly 10 million. Still a good player, B. Number 11 on the list, you probably haven't heard of him. His name's Eduardo Camavinga. You cannot make this up. At the start of FM20, was listed as a player for the Republic of Congo. It was not projected that he was going to be able to play for the French national team at any point in his career. At the end of this season, he has multiple caps for the senior French national team, the current reigning world champions. This is an A+++ pick by me and my scouting team, which at this time was me. We picked Eduardo Camavinga out. I said he's going to be one of the best midfielders in the world, even though I put him at 11. I was really high on the top 10. He's obviously a wonderful box-to-box midfielder, 51 caps for the French national team, regular starter at Manchester City after moving to Wolves and then City for an aggressive amount of money. But Camavinga in real life has been scoring overhead goals for the French national team. This has got to be the highest rated one on the entire list. It's not even close. We take this break to remind you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. My next hidden Wonderkid, an A. I told you I was going to catch fire. Diogo Nascimento is a wonderful Portuguese player. 65 Portuguese caps, 26 goals at 28 years old. He's a regular starter for Barcelona. Ah, yes. He went from Benfica to Barca for 73 million rather late on in this career, but he clearly turns into an absolute dynamo in Football Manager if you can manage to get your hands on him. Now, what is he doing in real life? I believe he is playing rather regularly for Benfica. That belief is 100% wrong, and I'm gonna have to downgrade this to a B+. Why did I think he was playing all the time? There's just so many Diogos. He ended up being a brilliant player in Football Manager. He ended up not being at all a brilliant player here in real life. He still could be. He's only 18. When you have Camavinga and Bellingham and people like that, I can't give him an A. He's a B+. Now, my number 9 pickup on this list was Serbian-German hybrid Lazar Samardzic, who I'm got to be a C. I mean, he's athletic, squad player on Wolfsburg. He stayed at Hertha forever, and then Wolfsburg bought him for 26.5. But he's a C. This high on the list, ahead of all of the other people that we've had so far. Lazar Samardzic, just okay. He's just an okay top flight player. He's a good dribbler. He picks the ball up well with pace and touch and dribbling, keeps the ball close to his foot. But he's not a great passer. He's not a gifted goal scorer. And so I'm going to have to give him a C. I'm interested to see what he's done in real life. Leipzig bought him. So he's on the move. I mean, I'm still going to give him a C, but they bought him for 550,000 from Hertha. Oh, C+. He's got multiple Bundesliga appearances. I was right in real life and not in Football Manager. He's got 3 caps to the German U20 team too. I was onto something. Now for the 8th person, and this was probably the most divisive person I put on this list. For months afterwards, I was having debates about this, whether this person actually had potential. I had people that took on the challenge of trying to pull the potential out of Matheus Rampone. He was the oldest guy on the list. He also had the largest gap between his current ability and potential ability. His potential ability was incredibly high. There was no real explanation given for that. And clearly he hasn't reached it. He went on a loan to the Pohang Steelers, for crying out loud, in South Korea. Botafogo bought him for 60,000, Granada for 205,000, Tenerife bought him for 2.4 million. So he is actually kind of late blooming his way up through the ranks. And now he's moving on a free transfer. But this guy has to be an F. I was just very wrong. I'd read some things. He was a late blooming. Maybe this guy had a bucket of skill. Nobody seemed to know. Football Manager certainly thought that he had a bucket of skill. He had a super high average potential ability rating at the start of FM20. But I should have known. And I've learned my lesson. That huge gap between his rated current ability, he was never going to be able to cover that. He's an F. Now, 7 was Myron Bawadu, who is the same age as Matheus Rampone. Bawadu was definitely the only person on this list that had significant first-team exposure before I added them to the list. For whatever reason, his reputation was low enough that he met the threshold to be in the list. And that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give him a B. He turns into a wonderful player. He's a wonderful player. He's 58 caps, 18 goals for the Dutch national team. Manchester City just bought him for 110 million for some ungodly reason and sold him for 36 million 2 years later. Myron Bawadu, I'm gonna give him a B because I feel like everybody could see this coming. He met the threshold and that was it. We'll lower the threshold for the next video. Ladies and gentlemen, number 7, we're back on track with a guy that you'd probably never heard of that we found. Yeah. A- on Matias Palacios, just because he's not quite as good as the other guys, but he is a regular starter at Juventus. He's making a lot of money. He's at 40 caps to the Argentinian national team. Screw it. A. This is an A. Yeah. I don't need to be modest here. This was a great find. Juventus bought him for 6.75 million. Held on to him for a long time. He's had 202 appearances for the Juventus first team after loan moves to Valencia and Anderlecht. No, you know what? A-, and I'm holding that. The load of Argentinian caps nearly persuaded me. He is valued at nearly 10 million though, and he's made an appearance in the Argentinian Super League at the age of 18. So we're back to A. I don't know why I can't decide on this guy. What do you think? I think he's an A. Yeah, Matias Palacios is an A. We got it. He's an A-. Okay, fine. Next on the list is 29-year-old now Swedish winger Ben Nygren, who turned into a central midfielder really every single save I've played forward. I'm going to give Ben a B+. I mean, he turns into a regular starter at Milan. He's a very regular starter for the Swedish national team. Free transfer to Milan from Chelsea after they bought him for 35.5 million. Of course, he's coming from Genk. I feel like what he's done in real life, because he's definitely one of the older players. He moved to Genk for 4 million. He's played 200 minutes. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists in the Eredivisie. Ben Nygren is bursting onto the scene. So yeah, I'm going to go B+. And I probably should think about going even higher than that, but we're really high on the list now. We're at 7 on the list. We need guys that turn into hidden gems, that turn into absolute studs. That's the bar. Our 4th selection was Nashi Unuvar, who is a player at Real Madrid, 99 Dutch appearances at the age of 27, over 200 appearances for Real Madrid after 100 appearances at Ajax. He's obviously had a wonderful career in this Football Manager save, moved for 80 million to the Spanish Giants, and he is a very good player here, but he has not yet made the first team. He does have 8 appearances in the highest youth league, and his market value is 6.6 million. But every time in Football Managers, this dude's a hoss. So I'm going to go A-. He's not one of the best picks, but every time in Football Manager, this guy becomes amazing, even if in real life he hasn't quite cracked it yet. Nashi Unuvar is one of the youngest guys on the list, so the fact that he hasn't broken into the first team yet is not super worrying. He's not Camavinga, right? Next on the list is everybody's favorite Wonderkid striker, the Italian Sebastiano Esposito. 50 caps, 37 goals to the Italian national team. He is a squad player at Barcelona. He is just one of the most balanced forwards to come through the game in a long time. They bought him for 110 million from Dortmund, who bought him for 35 million from Inter, and that's just how Dortmund does business. This guy is, honestly, he's kind of disappointed me in terms of what his attributes turn into in Football Manager. Let's see about how he's played so far. They loaned him to Spal. He's got 5 Serie B appearances without a goal. He has 2 appearances in Coppa Italia without a goal. So I got to go B+. I know everybody loves Esposito. He's just the constant recommendation to sign, but he's 18 years old. He's older than American stud Gio Reyna, who I didn't put on the list. What kind of American am I if I didn't have Gio Reyna on the list? He had such a breakout year. I had Esposito, and I'm going to give up Esposito a B+, because obviously he turns into a good player, but in real life, we haven't really seen that from him yet. And then we have Eli X Morib, who obviously becomes a brilliant player in Football Manager. He's at PSG as a regular starter, the youth player from Barcelona who wasn't Ansu Fati, who in real life is actually playing for the Ghanaian national team. He was born in Conakry, moved to Spain at a very young age. $65 million transfer to pry him away. This dude is a stud in real life. I knew that the moment I picked him. If you find somebody that is playing for a national team like Guinea, he capped for Guinea at 15. Grown men, a good national team at 15. Eli X Morib is going to be a stud. I can't prove it yet. I have to give this one a B because obviously he turns into a good player here, and he's very young in real life. He's only 17. I have to give him a B right now. He's a future A. I might just put him on the list again for the next one, for the next Football Manager. And then there was number 1. And this guy is Rayon Shirky, who I knew once Football Manager 20 came out, his life was going to change because he was arguably the premier prospect in the game. He's a flop. Football Manager saying that he might be the best young player in the world when he's 15 doesn't help. Rayon Shirky, now 27, 1 cap for the French national team, kind of flamed a little bit. Unable to reach his potential in most of the saves that you see. He obviously is going to become a good first team player. Manchester City bought him, then Bayern bought him, then Tottenham bought him, and now he's a regular starter at Tottenham. Yeah, all of us would wish for a career like that, but he's not a world beater. I have to give him a C+. I put this guy first. I put this guy first and was legitimately convinced he was the next coming of the Neymar level player, and he just does not appear to be. Now, he still could be that in real life. I mean, he's young. He's got 6 Ligue 1 appearances at 17, and his market value is 27.5 million. You know what? That market value, I'm going to give him a B, because even though he's kind of a flop in Football Manager, in real life, a market value of 27.5 million from Transfermarkt is hard to do. So I'm giving him a B. I wasn't as bad on my number 1 pick as I thought. And there we've gone through 20 hidden gems that I picked right at the beginning of Football Manager 20 that had very low reputation in the game, and we absolutely nailed some. So I'm really looking forward to making this same video at the end of the FM21 cycle. What 20 names have we not heard of yet that are going to be on this list? And by the end of it, they could be the next Eduardo Camavinga or Jude Bellingham, or maybe they're the next Luke Daly, and we still haven't heard of them. Good luck to Luke Daly, though, because that Huddersfield Youth site really loves the guy. He's got a lot of pace. I'll see you on stream.